Hey, this is a quick walkthrough of the new library feature of structuredprompt.com. The library lets us save the various attributes of prompts like tasks, roles, audience, create, intent, and also the freeform prompt. So if I go to my library, I'll click on task. I have one task in here right now, so if I edit that, my task is write advertising copy. I added just a couple of parameters, user-friendly tone, and address the needs of the audience. So that's saved, in my library, and I can use that moving forward in any prompts that I want just by selecting it in the prompt editor. So back to my library, I'll go to roles. I have advertising copywriter set up as a role. And I can add, as many roles as I want to. So an advertising copywriter, and GPT knows what an advertising copywriter is. So we're just, kind of building on that. We'll say that, he writes clear and concise, persuasive copy and addresses the attitudes and preferences of the audience. Under audience, I set up a couple of audiences, one for millennials and one for baby boomers. These have different traits, of course. And again, ChatGPT knows what millennials are, but we've just added some parameters, kind of fictional things, some of them, but they value a work-life balance. They enjoy playing Pictionary. They prefer hairless cats because they're hypoallergenic. They enjoy playing video games. They do not enjoy dogs or Yahtzee. Okay, so that's going to control our output coming up here. Back to audiences, if we look at baby boomers, some but not all are retired. They enjoy playing Yahtzee. They prefer small dogs. They prefer reading to watching TV, and they're not interested in video games or cats. So, two different groups, some slightly overlapping factors and some things that don't overlap at all. So those are our audiences. We go to create, and the create statement we're going to look at is write an overview for the home page. I actually spelled that wrong in the description. And so basically just write a summary statement for the home page is the creative prompt for that. And then under intent, this is the general intention of the prompt. The intent will be to promote the attributes of a new apartment complex. And we can add some parameters here. So, it's important. Mention only those attributes that the audience prefers and enjoys. So if they're, millennials don't like cats, then don't mention the cats, in the copy. Do not mention the audience by name. Do not address the audience directly. Otherwise, it can, a lot of times it'll say, hey, baby boomers, and, call them by the prompt name. So we want to avoid that. So that's our intent. Next, I'll go to freeform. And in freeform, we can really build anything we want. We're not limited to the task, role, audience, create, intent structure. So I added a freeform attribute called apartment complex attributes. And these are just things that features that this apartment complex might have. So it's got a community center with Yahtzee tables. It's got a community center with extensive video game library, a dog park with a special section for small dogs, special section for large dogs, a Pictionary amphitheater with a small stage and easel, a lending library with the latest bestsellers, and organized play dates for our feline friends. So, attributes that'll appeal some to millennials, some to baby boomers, and but some that overlap, and some that one group won't like it all, or the other group won't like it all. So those are our library items. So I'm going to head over to prompts, to my prompts. And I went ahead and plugged these into the baby boomers prompt. So actually, I'll go to edit this prompt first. So the prompt is called promote an apartment complex to baby boomers, and that's, for our purposes only. That's just the name of the prompt. It's not what we're passing. The task, I'm just pulling my task from the library. So when I set this up, I basically just selected the right advertising copy task. And if I had 50 tasks in there, I can select any one of the 50 tasks. Same with the copywriter. Here's our audience, and if I click this, I'll see both baby boomers and millennials. We'll do, keep it at baby boomers for now. And write an overview for our home page is the create statement. That's great. I can add individual rules to these if I want to, so I can further define the library item by adding override rules. So I added a rule that says focus only on the attributes that appeal to this audience. So if it's if it's baby boomers and they don't like video games, then it won't show them anything about video games. Okay, next we have intent, and the intent is promote our new apartment complex. So that's selected, and then freeform, we're pulling in our apartment complex attributes. And freeform is really cool. It's like a data set that you can create, and you can add multiple freeform items if you want. So this could be, I did one earlier where I compared 3 different cars, and each car has its own data set. So we can do things like that. So anyway, so there's the structure of our structured prompt. I'm going to submit that. And in the list, I'm going to click on the prompt. And so this is all the JSON that it generates. So it's got the we call it the Tracy format, the task, the role, the audience, the create, the intent, and then in addition to that, it has this little freeform prompt down here that lists all the apartment complex attributes. So I'm going to copy that to my clipboard and head over to ChatGPT, paste in my prompt. And so that generates the summary for the home page, and it's tailored directly to the baby boomer. So it mentions playing Yahtzee, it mentions the dog park, the small dog park. It skips over the large dog part, mentions books, and mentions the Pictionary amphitheater, which they don't prefer, but they don't dislike that. And it mentions retirement. Enjoy the retirement you deserve. So that's the baby boomer version. So if I go back, manage my prompts, I'm gonna I'll just duplicate that baby boomer prompt and edit it, and I'll change in the title, just for my reference, I'll change baby boomers to millennials, and scroll down to the baby boomer audience, select millennials instead. I'll just leave everything else as is for now. Okay, and I'll copy to my clipboard and head back over to ChatGPT, plug this one in. So this one rewrites it, from the millennial audience perspective. So it goes in, mentions the video game library, work-life balance, does mention the lending library because even though they don't expressly prefer books, they don't dislike books. Let's see. We understand that not everyone enjoys dogs, which is why we offer a dog park with a special section for small and large dogs. Then it goes into the hairless cats, organized play dates for feline friends, Pictionary, and it caters to their preferences. So 2 different pieces of copy just by changing the audience.